Each and every week, we move closer to E3, where Nintendo will unveil their biggest and their best. In fact, it might include a new pair of Switch consoles if the recent reports are to be believed, and I think that they are, but you're going to need some new games to play on the potential Switch Lite and Switch Pro, and that's why this week, Gabe, we have 7 new Switch games for you. 6 of them are coming pretty soon. One of them is a little further out, but still very interesting.
Every week in history is closer to E3, except for the week of E3, I guess. Just wanted to
Thank you for that fact.
Yeah.
Super appreciate that. Also, as you guys know, we give away a game or a code every week here on this lovely new Switch Games series. Last week we gave away a code for Turok on Switch, and the winner is Star Master. Congrats, thanks for your comment. I'm excited for V2. Sniper Elite coming soon, but Turok is coming to you even sooner. We'll get that over to you. And this week we're giving away a $10 eShop code. You can spend it on whatever you want, a pre-order, a eShop game, maybe you just save it for some later rainy day. But make sure to leave a comment letting us know your favorite title from today and like the video, and we'll announce the winner next week. Okay, Gabe, let's get right into it with a game that I could not believe just got announced out of nowhere for the Switch. It's Cell Damage HD, and it's coming this week, March 28th, for $9.99. They've priced it appropriately. It is a game that I have quite nostalgia for because I got this game on the original Xbox, and I felt so cool. I felt so edgy when I bought Cell Damage.
Will you feel edgy if you play it now?
Probably not. The game looks a little worse than I remember. This is a car combat game back in the early days of cell shaded graphics when that was all the rage. It has single player, 2 to 4 player, split screen, multiplayer, 13 arenas, 3 game modes, 30 weapons. It's not great, but it's also still a pretty fun time.
Yeah, 64 player multiplayer. It has couch co-op. Yeah, it's a super perfect fit for Nintendo Switch. It says that it also has it's a lot of weapons, and I played this one, Zach, back in the day. I don't remember it as fondly as you. You seem to have a lot of nostalgia for it. I'm guessing you played it a lot more than I did, but what I played, it definitely made me kind of happy to see that this is coming to Switch.
Yeah, I like that also they price it appropriately. $9.99 for something like that. Either you're tapping back into because you remember it fondly, or you're just bored and want to try something out. A game that had some, I'd say small cult following back in the day. $10 is a great price point.
Yeah.
Let's go to Duck Game, which is coming to Switch this May. I'd say this is another game with quite the cult following. It's coming on May 2nd, and you are a bunch of ducks doing your best to destroy other ducks. It borrows from games in the vein of Towerfall, where it is quick, ferocious combat on a 2D plane, but excellent multiplayer fun.
I love this game. I've played it so much on Steam.
I've never played it.
Dude, the game is awesome. Legitimately. I play it with my Discord group of friends. Shout out to them. Won't say their names, but yeah, we play this from time to time. When we're bored of whatever Battle Royale game is out there, and we've played enough Rust, stuff like that. Every once in a while, we'll jump into Duck games, and dude, you are gonna have a blast with this with Jake and Noah, I promise.
It has an incredible box art that I really hope they use as the icon on Nintendo.com. It's a picture of a very hairy duck, a humanoid gorilla duck. It's terrifying, but the game is $12.99, which is not terrifying. 50 levels, 50 weapons, local and online multiplayer, a level editor mode. Gabe swears by it, and so I'm pretty pumped, and this one is coming soon. Also, Gabe, it is the only competitive game on Nintendo Switch with quacking.
Perfect.
Absolutely perfect. Shantae 5 is coming to Switch. You can count the amount of Shantae games on your hand, and now there is one more. It's coming to all platforms, including, of course, Nintendo Switch. These are pretty fun games as well.
Yeah, they're really well made. I had no idea there was 4 of them. I thought there was just 2 or 3, but hey, it has been around for a very long time. They were thrilled to announce it in a tweet. We don't have gameplay necessarily quite yet, but you can probably bet that it's going to look like a Shantae game. And you're right, they are fun. They are let's say a little bit of a niche game, but they also do have a cult following, just like the other games we've mentioned. So there seems to be a recurring theme with this list here.
Way Forward has really beautiful art. And this was a series that it started off a little slow, but since has again become kind of a cult favorite. It's very interesting that did not expect that to be cults to be the theme.
Zach, It's coming to Apple Arcade.
Oh my goodness gracious, the future is terrifying. But it's also coming to Switch, and you can get it there if you want to brush up on your Shantae. Half Genie Hero is already out on the platform. It's pretty fun. I've played it. It's $19.99. We'll see how this one expands upon the franchise when it hits. I'm sure it'll be something that's part of a Nintendo Direct or an Indies presentation at some point.
Did you know that it originally started on the Game Boy Color in 2002? That's when Shantae first came out.
That's when she was born.
Yep.
Long time ago. 17 whole years. Okay, you know what came out also a long time ago, Gabe?
Huh.
Professor Layton and the Curious Village, the very first game with the puzzle-solving detective, released in 2007 on the DS, and according to a localization website, it looks like it's heading to Switch. Now, we've yet to see Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel, and the Millionaire's Conspiracy hit Switch over here in the West. It's been out in Japan since 2018, but it does look like they are going to be remastering, or at least just bringing directly over the first Professor Layton. The game is already on, as I mentioned, DS, but also Android and iOS, so it would not be hard to get to Switch. Hopefully they keep the price down. Maybe this even leads us, as we hoped when we heard about Catriel and Millionaire's Conspiracy, to a brand new Switch-focused Layton.
Zach, this is one more game that has a niche cult-like audience, dude. I don't want to say that every game on this list has that, but hey, so far
they do. So
we're like at 100% so far. Yeah.
I really like the first couple of Professor Laytons. I fell off after a while, not because the games were bad, but just because it's, you can only do so many puzzles in the villages that they provide you with. But I like these kind of games. I don't know that I want to do the first one again because that's the one I spent the most time with. But I would love to see this lead to a new Layton experience on Switch. Maybe they can get some new characters, bring in some new kind of gameplay. Who knows? Multiplayer puzzle solving. But it'll probably be out at some point soon.
I really hope so, because I think this game would suffer from, I don't have a word for it quite yet, but when you're really excited for an old game on Switch and it finally comes out and then you're like, well, I played it and I've always known that I played it, but I was excited and, it didn't turn out to be so exciting. I feel like for me at least, that's what this one would be, because like you, I played the original, but we'll see how that goes.
All right, how about Samurai Shodown? Another blast from the past, the reboot of the fifth mainline title is coming to Switch in Q4. It'll be a little bit after the releases of the game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It is an Unreal Engine 4 game, and it has 16 fighters. It's going to be playable at PAX East in just a couple of days, but even though it is not day and date, it's another third-party title on Switch, so it's hard to complain too much.
Yeah, a long storied franchise. SNK, man, like they are like low-key, like really amazing at fighting games. That's part of what they do really, really well. The art style is like super reminiscent of Street Fighter 4 and 5. Yeah, so
very much so.
It'd be really cool if those games could come over to Switch, because I love Street Fighter. Not that I don't like Samurai Shodown, I just don't have the fondness for it that I do for that other fighting franchise. But yeah, this is cool. I'm glad it's coming to Switch. Fighting games are sort of pretty well represented on Switch, honestly. Like we have some decent ones, but yeah, this is gonna be another good one to add to the list.
It's like the evolution of cell shading from Cell Damage to Street Fighter 4 to Samurai Shodown. No set date, but sometime before the calendar wraps up. All right, let's go to Beyond a Steel Sky. Now, Gabe, this is another game that was announced at the Apple Arcade launch event, reveal event rather. It is a sequel to Beneath a Steel Sky, which was a loved point-and-click adventure game, and this looks to be borrowing from a similar style. It says it's a unique, rich game experience in a bounded sandbox world interwoven with a deep narrative, elegantly simple, intuitive controls that allow complex situations to emerge, offering a gameplay experience that will appeal to the novice as well as the experienced gamer. And it will have 4K on other places, but not on Switch.
Yeah, Beyond a Steel Sky is a thrilling story of a loyal and redemption set in an eerie and terrifying world of AI-driven social controls. As can be expected of a revolutionary adventure, the tale is woven with the studio's signature humor, supported by legendary comic book artist Dave Gibbons, and the music is something that they also tout as well. I didn't play the original, and since this is a continuation, I kind of feel like I should if I'm going to jump into this one, but I mean, I like story-based games. Maybe this one could be cool. I like the graphics.
It looks really nice that it is, sort of, they said like sandbox style and you're moving around a pretty world. Honestly, it looks a lot and reminds me of a fusion of like Borderlands and Rage. I'm kind of half surprised this isn't one of the games that Randy Pitchford is teasing for PAX, one of 9 or whatever they've got going on over there. But this one looks to be out later this year, and it's good to have on Switcheroo. Okay, we've reached the final game, which is a ways out and doesn't have a full-on Switch confirmation, but it sounds like it, and it leads to an interesting discussion nonetheless. The Lord of the Rings Gollum is a new game in the Lord of the Rings franchise, and it is coming in 2021, so we're a ways out. There's not a whole lot of details on this game except that it will center around the cult favorite character Gollum and take place between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. It is one of the first new licensed games in a long time for the Tolkien franchise, and it will be, like I said, releasing in 2021, and they said on all relevant console platforms at that time, which I really hope the Switch is relevant in 2021.
I really hope so too, but wait, doesn't like Shadow Mortar count as like licensed? I mean, sort of.
Yeah, Shadow of War is Middle-earth Shadow of War, so this bears like the official name. And you know, they say it won't be based on the movie franchise, so it will probably have different voices, different plot, maybe even different character designs, different world look. But I hope the Switch is relevant. I think the reason that they're saying this is because they can't say it's coming to PS5. So when they say all relevant console platforms at that time, you know, by 2021 it's not coming out on PlayStation 4. Sure. So I just hope that the Switch gets included when we start to see these announcements for like all relevant platforms. I hope that the Switch...
Oh, yeah. Okay, the Switch will be relevant, so I'm really hoping that that's what they mean as well.
Yeah, and it could be cool. Like a game as Gollum the whole time. Like,
yeah. Big things are happening with that property, right? There's the Amazon Lord of the Rings show happening. Like, there's a lot going on in that world, and I know that it has a rabid fan base, so, I mean, it's really cool to see. I hope the game's fun.
Yeah, we're getting the Lord of the Rings like living card game, I believe it's called, on Switch at some point. So hopefully that is the first, and this is the second. That'll do it for our list of new Switch games this week. Gabe, which one are you most excited for?
Dude, Duck Game is awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'm excited just because you're excited.
Yeah, I know. Duck Game is so fun. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to go with.
Sounds good. I have a little bit of a soft spot for Cell Damage. I kind of want to grab it just to reminisce and feel like an edgy... Gosh, I don't even know how old I would have been. The game came out in 2002. Okay, so I was like 11. My edgy 11-year-old original Xbox self after I traded my PlayStation 2 for an Xbox to an employee at Blockbuster Game Rush.
There you go. That
is a real blast from the past. No, I'm excited to see how Cell Damage holds up. I'm also interested in this Beyond a Steel Sky. I think, you know, the fact that Apple wanted to include it in their big reveal like says a lot about the quality of the game and their belief in it, and so it leads me to believe that maybe like the plot and the characters will be really well done, and it'll be a cool game to have on Switch. So I'll go with those two. Let us know which game you're most pumped for in the comments down below. Remember, if you like the video and leave that comment, you're entered to win the $10 eShop code. That will announce the winner for next week. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Until next time, for myself and Gabe, SwitchForce